Hello friends, you're watching India Today Tech, and in this video we're going to review the Honor 9 Lite. With a quad camera setup, a glass unibody design and an edge-to-edge display, the Honor 9 Lite looks like a fairly promising offering, at least on paper. But is the recurrent offering from Honor any better than its previous phones? Let's take a look. The most striking aspect of the Honor 9 Lite is its compact form factor. Despite having a sizable 5.65-inch display, it is almost as pocketable and small as the Moto X4, which has a 5.2-inch panel, which means that the phone not only gives you more screen area for its size, but also manages to be compact. The rounded corners and curved sides also give a nice in-hand feel. The back is made entirely out of glass, which helps the 9 Lite look like a smaller version of the Honor 9, a phone that never came to India. The glass back feels premium and helps the phone stand out from metal-based phones out there, which is practically every other phone. It is surprising how solid the phone is with its glass and plastic build. The fact that it doesn't have antenna lines kind of proves that it doesn't use metal in its construction. After a long time, we've seen a mid-budget phone that carries such elegant design but with very little compromises in the build quality. Even the dual cameras are smartly integrated into the chassis. The Honor 9 Lite is created far above the likes of Honor 9i or the 7X. There are minor hiccups though, which we mentioned in our quick review video as well. Like, the phone attracts a lot of fingerprints and the glass used both in the front and the back is not from Corning. The SIM slot is also hybrid, but all these things are nothing major for the price the Honor 9 Lite comes at. The fingerprint sensor on the phone is placed at the back but works like a charm. It is very similar to the other Honor phones, that is fast and quite accurate, and the single bottom mounted speaker is only adequate at best. While there is no distortion, volume is lacking and so is the warmth. All in all, the Honor 9 Lite certainly looks fresh and unique. The bluish grey color of our review unit is a shade we have not seen in a smartphone before and looks quite premium and classy. The build quality is also surprisingly stellar. We found it hard to get the smartphone to flex or creak under pressure, which makes the build quality even better than the Honor 7X. But of course, since the front and the back are made of glass, you may need to carefully keep the phone or maybe cover it up with a case. Coming to the display, Honor has almost hit it out of the park when it comes to the screen. The Honor 9 Lite is no exception. Aside from the sleek design, the 5.65-inch Full HD Plus IPS panel is the star of the show. It is bright, punchy and has great viewing angles. The 18:9 display is great for gaming and multimedia consumption, and Honor's software stack allows you to stretch applications and YouTube videos which do not natively support this aspect ratio, which is quite nifty. All in all, the display is more than adequate for the price segment the Honor 9 Lite is placed in, and we have very little to complain. So far so good. Now let's talk about the performance. The Honor 9 Lite has been launched in India in two variants, one with 4GB RAM and 64GB of internal storage, and a cheaper model with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of internal storage. Both are powered by Kirin 659 chipset and allow for storage expansion via microSD card. While day-to-day use is quite pleasant, the Honor 9 Lite is not a powerhouse. Casual games like Subway Surfer run fairly well, and intensive ones like the Asphalt 8 and the Modern Warfare do have a few dropped frames, but they are overall quite smooth and much smoother than what we experienced on the Honor 7X, which runs the same chip. Coming back to the usage, intensive use also slows down the phone a fair bit. Snapdragon 625 powered smartphones such as the Moto G5S Plus or the Xiaomi Mi A1 still have the edge when it comes to pure performance. Also, the software on Honor 9 Lite is still quite cluttered and bloat-ridden. There are many apps like UC News and even Gameloft game demos pre-installed on the phone. The UI still has some way to go to match the simplicity of stock Android. Having said that, day-to-day use on the Honor 9 Lite is actually quite a snappy affair, partly thanks to the EMUI 8.0, which is quite a bit faster than the EMUI 5.1. It seems that Honor has done a better job at optimization this time around. Animations are snappier than before, and navigating through the user interface is fairly smooth. As a result, even with the same hardware, the 9 Lite feels faster than previous mid-range offerings in day-to-day use. The Honor 9 Lite has a 3000 mAh battery on board, which Honor claims is good for 30 hours of talk time and 43 days of standby time. While the battery capacity has been reduced compared to the 7X, the actual battery life is pretty solid, if not great. With a light workload, the Honor 9 Lite can easily last for more than a day on a single charge. The USP of the phone is 4 cameras, so now let's talk about that. While having more cameras does not mean you will get better photos, Honor 9 Lite's dual camera setup is also not as good as that of the Mi A1, but it stands its ground if normal photography is talked about. The rear camera is able to handle dynamic range well and takes good shots in good lighting situations. This is something we said in our quick review as well. Images taken in well-lit conditions have good amount of details and object outlines are sharp. Color reproduction is not loyal, that is, while colors look punchy and vibrant, they are not the most accurate. Also, the autofocus is not very fast, but Honor 9 Lite makes up for it with a faster shutter, which means in good light, the phone cameras work well. Surprisingly, in low light as well, the cameras are not bad. There is a slight loss of detail, but the cameras do manage to produce sharp object outlines and keep the photo bright, which is nice. Talking about the front camera setup, 9 Lite takes better photos than previous mid-range Honor smartphones. The 30 megapixel sensor captures accurate colors and good skin tones and is fairly competent performer in good light. In low light as well, it performs well with little noise or grains in the image. Now, since the dual cameras are present on both sides, you can take portrait shots or bokeh shots with blur backgrounds, as we call it, from both front and rear cameras. So we took some portrait shots in the bokeh mode and we found that the pictures taken in this mode are not as flawless as the ones you would take from the Xiaomi Mi A1, for example. At medium settings, the camera takes usable shots and is able to identify the outlines, bump up the blur level, and object boundaries start becoming ill-defined. So while we didn't find the quad cameras on the Honor 9 Lite anything great, do let us know what you think about this kind of dual camera setup in the comment section below. And before you go, here are our final thoughts on the Honor 9 Lite. The Honor 9 Lite is not the most powerful smartphone out there, nor does it have the best cameras. Also, EMUI 8.0, while a massive improvement, is still not as easy to use as the stock Android interface. But at the starting price of Rs 11,000, the Honor 9 Lite makes for quite a compelling buy. It has a fresh and modern design, great build quality, snappy and fluid software, one of the best displays in the segment, and solid battery life. The fact that it is compact and pocketable compared to big and bulky, thin bezel smartphones works like a cherry on top.
If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. Also subscribe to our channel to get latest stuff on technology like this. Thank you for watching.